Greetings. This is Skylar Saunders saying, what's current? Well, you see, I have a new attire. I have the gray hat that I usually wore for the shorts. And I have a fresh new silk tie that I got that was originally $55, and I think I got for like $2 and some cents. That's how you do it. That's how you work the system. You gotta get that money, and you gotta save that money. So here's the new look. All right, we have to jump into this mess. Yo, dog, I heard you got words against hip hop current state. So I got you a seat so you can sit while you sit when you seat. And when you sit, who's that? Mr. X to the Z Xzibit. That's what I'm talking about. He has some words of this, they're disparaging against most rappers now. And this is this age old, old hater trying to get his weight back up. Hasn't been in the game for album wise for over a decade, but he has things to say against the current and upcoming hip hop way makers and movers and shakers and all that entails. I know it's late Sunday, but please just bear with me on my my hatred, objective hatred for Xzibit, because I'm gonna go all in, pause, and it's just gonna be serious. It's like he said that the current state of hip hop is a mockery. Now, how many times has that been said since hip hop began 50 years ago? He's gonna be 49 years old tomorrow. Xzibit. It's the X to the Z. So he's leaning back on his porch, whistling Dixie, saying all this stuff about hip hop when there are tremendous shifts. He's talking about, the women of hip hop. He's saying like they don't have to be sexualized. That's the game. That's part of the game. Going all the way back to before hip hop, to Millie Jackson. And then Lil Kim, Nicki Minaj, and so many others. They use their sexuality to propel themselves in the hip hop sphere. That's the point. And he talks about, there's not all these other rappers. Look at the trap rap. You have trap rap, but you have drill rap. Drill rappers are all global. They're from Philly to London to New York to Chicago to parts of Nigeria, I'm sure. It's all part of the game. And he's hating hard. He's hating hard. Let me see. He has a few choice words. He said hip hop is huge, quote unquote. He said, and quote, and it made so many people so much money they think anybody can do it. Everyone feels that hip hop is so accessible that anybody can do it. Well, he's talking about the people that are like SoundCloud rappers, and they should. Hip hop is a free for all. Why didn't exhibit his mind and say we need a council, we need guidelines, we need all these different things in place to make it a true culture, and have these rules and regulations. If you wanted to have it private regulations, I mean, not by the government, but if you wanted to have all that in place, you should have had that, the mindset for that earlier, before anything else happened. That's the truth of it. That's the reality of it. That's what people are failing to grasp and to see. People aren't looking at that. Xzibit's not looking at that. You have these dedicated, passionate young people. That's the thing. They're young people. And ever since, the first rappers, they've been hated on. Oh, who's this LL Cool J? How's he? Is he going to go anywhere? What is this Run DMC? They're going with trying to rap on MTV and what? Ice Cube. What is an Ice Cube? What, you put him in a drink? Who's Snoop Dogg? And who's Jay-Z? What anything new is hated upon, is chastised, is broken down, is attacked until it becomes something. And I don't think Xzibit has ever been in a conversation of one of the greatest rappers of all time. He's not on any list really. He hasn't achieved. He's not. He's a mediocre rapper. He's okay. He's okay. He's not terrific. He's not terrible. He's just okay. Um, he has within his capacity the idea of being somebody that has led the charge and been able to sustain himself, make money like anybody else. He's talking about people are can do go on the internet or use a basic recording equipment, and then they go along that path. They go along that same path, down that same road of misunderstanding and misrepresentation. And for Xzibit to do that shows how poorly he knows about the history of hip hop. 50 years worth of people shitting on each other or yelling at each other or backbiting or being terrible against each other, and it becomes a problem because he's going to be he's damn near 50 years old, and now he's got a problem with hip hop. He's got a problem with the newcomers. He's got issues with anything new, young, fresh, and new. I guess he wants to kick it back to the old school with the boom bap and the people in ciphers and dirty sneakers and backpacks. You can do that all you want, but Drake's going to continue to tour and say he's going to be making an album, and whether he's going to make an album and tour at the same time or something like that. That statement he made. That's what it's about. It's about melodies. I was hating on Future. I was a dedicated Future hater till I figured out what he did and what he stood for. I figured out what he was about. Drugs. That's his whole modus operandi. Drugs. It's all about drugs. Dirty Sprite, or Dirty Sprite 2, and all Purple Rain. It's all references to promethazine and lean and drinking and smoking and all this kind of stuff because of the fact that he's talking about drugs. And once you get past that, you're like, all right, I can respect that. I respect Future. I don't really like Future. I never liked his music, any of it. Like I never really said, "Oh, that's a dope line." Oh, that line is about the world. That's about some serious issues going down. Even personal issues. I can't even point to. I'm sure he has. I'm sure he has a few. I'm sure he has a few lines that are pretty strong, but I never really liked it. I'm hating on him, objectively. So it goes to the Xzibit. Xzibit is just, I wouldn't say washed up. That's too easy. That's too, too on the nose and too corny, really. Say, oh, he's washed up, he's done. But he is kicking his feet up and looking out off the porch and pointing his finger, saying, "Hip hop, you're all messed up now. When it was in my game, when I was rapping and doing something serious, it was a totally different era. It was a totally different time period." And then he got big. He got big. In terms of the pop culture with "Pimp My Ride," and I messed up the intro. I know that agreement isn't the same, but he needs to have a seat. He needs to have a seat. He needs to have a whole seat, and he can sit in his seat. And while he's sitting in his seat, he can sit while he sits. I think I got it closer that time, but he's the guy from Pimp My Ride. He's not. That's not the first thing you think of. That's the first thing you think of when you think about Xzibit. You know, oh yeah, he's a rapper, has music. No, you're like, oh, that's the Pimp My Ride guy, right? For my generation, millennials, where y'all at? Where are you? My generation, millennials and before, you know, baby boomer, X generation X, baby boomers, we recognize Xzibit as the Pimp My Ride guy, and that's nothing wrong with that. He's getting his paper, he's getting his money. I don't want to say he should have had his back stopped. He might still get, you know, residuals from that. I don't know. I doubt it highly, especially since it's really not on the air anymore. But you know, he's good. He's got gold albums. He's got, you know, I'm sure he's got lines of different uh merchandise that he's able to, you know, give out. Oh, we got Greg S on the check-in. Hold up. Hold up. Greg S. All right, so Greg, if you're not trolling, I appreciate it. I know you're broke. I know you're riding the coattails of everyone else. You're you're a freeloader, but if you're telling the truth right there, I appreciate it. Show me the receipts. Just yeah, show me the receipts. Yeah, broke is a joke, exactly. But I appreciate you for coming into the live. Make sure you tap that like button. I need the algorithm to be popping. I need the cash apps to be popping tonight. Where are y'all cash apps? I know Greg S isn't going to do the cash app. Okay, they took away. Was that you, Greg? You took away. I was about to say, hold on. You took away the like. I was like, whoa, whoa, taking away likes. All right, I didn't even know you could do that. Actually, I didn't know you can't. You can. They don't show it as a dislike. YouTube doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. You can't have dislikes on your. All right, there's a dislike. Good, good, good. No, no likes. Okay, it's going back and forth. I don't know if that's YouTube algorithm or what. I don't know what's happening, but it's going 1 and 0, 1 and 0. All right, and there's two people in here, Greg S and somebody else. Show your face, show yourself, show your worth, and we'll get back to Xzibit. It's me. Yeah, I know, I know. You can click it on. I know, I know, I know. I thought so too. I remember that. I remember now. But you can't see it. You can't. There's no dislike. There's only likes. Go figure. So if Xzibit really wanted to tackle hip hop, he should be able to be honest with himself and say that he's out of the loop. Like I said, there are so many artists, you know, on the mainstream and on, you know, on lower levels of the hip hop framework. Uh, like I said, in drill is a powerful statement. It is so passionate. It is so in your face. It is so ready. It is so invigorating. It is like it reminds me of battle rap, but within the framework of, you know, the structure of a song. You know, chorus, verse, bridge, chorus, and end. That's how a song was structured in hip hop, but for the most part. But it seems to me that Xzibit just doesn't have a clue. He doesn't understand the reality of it. He doesn't understand the truth of hip hop anymore. He's definitely within hip hop. I'm not going to take that away from him. But what I'm saying is he's out of touch, out of reality, out of control. He's going on these web magazines. I have the source. The source is from Miss Bernadette Giacomazzo. She's one of the best writers for Hip Hop DX. And it just shows that he, you know, he said he was also with Layzie Bone in a discussion on a panel in Santa Monica, California. He was decrying what had become of the genre he knows and loves. He said further, a quote, "It's become a mockery of itself. It's become too accessible. There was a time that there was somebody that you had to go into their office and get an investment into your career. Now, if you just have a laptop and Wi-Fi, you can be an artist. People do themselves a disservice by trying to participate in that. Now, Xzibit is sounding like somebody like Ice T. He's sounding just like Ice T with Soldier Boy. That's like a throwback. Soldier Boy did all his stuff all on his lonely. That's the whole point. Do it on your own. I'm out here on my own. I'm not begging for no Mr. Please. Mr. Please. Could you please? Mr. Please. Could you just give me a contract? Could we work something out? And they give me something like 10% and they get 90%, or I get 5% and they get 95%, something like that. And I get no residuals. I get no merchandise. I have to do all that on my own anyway. So he's decrying, he's denouncing the very people that are changing this game, that are being resourceful, being independent, being individualistic, concerned with their own careers, not somebody else thinking about their career and what they can do. See, he's saying you had to go before somebody. Why you got to go out before somebody? What sense does that make? If you've got the talent, if you've got the spark, you should be able to go and do whatever the hell you want. You should be able to say, this is a totally new day. This is something that is especially made for me. I can do this. I can be an artist. What is wrong with what is wrong with Xzibit saying people can't be artists? It's a free for all. It's not a culture. I can see if it was a culture, and I'm like, yeah, that's true. They should be able to go to the council. They should be able to go to have the parameters, the guidelines, and the council in place, and then continue on with that. That's what is so crucial. That is what is so real. That's what Xzibit is completely missing. He is totally tuned out from that reality, from those facts. He has no idea what it means to be a true artist. An artist would never denounce or decry somebody else trying to make it in this game, trying to make it possible. And that's the best part too, because you're making it yourself. You're crafting your career. You're on your own. YouTube, TikTok, SoundCloud, all these different outlets, Spotify. If you have a certain amount of streams, you can do it. They call it the democratization of the internet, but really it's the individualist viewpoint of the internet, making it for the individual, making it for the self, making it selfish. Xzibit's completely looking over that. He wants it to be collective, I guess. I don't know. You have to go to other people. You have to be a second-hander. You have to be on someone else's toes. Your worth is not mentioned. Your worth is not even recalled. It has to be and measured by somebody else's eyes. And that's just wrong. That's just wrong. He's completely wrong. He'll be 49 tomorrow. He'll wake up, happy birthday, and all that mess. I don't celebrate birthdays because everybody wants to be nice to you one day out of the year. Then the rest of the day you can treat you like shit. Come on, like let's be legitimate here. It's a shame. It really is a shame. Because Xzibit, Mr. Ecstasy, Mr. Exciting, Mr. Explosive, Mr. Extraordinary. He doesn't have the same mojo he had 20 years ago. He doesn't have the same mojo he had 25 years ago. When he was an up and comer, when he was new and fresh and young and able to tackle the world. Said he has on his agenda to decry and to criticize the people that are continuing this genre. Let me make sure I didn't say it. It's a genre of young people trying to make a living off of something that they said would be dead within a few years, to 50 years. And whoever's in this game, you got the Megan the Stallions, the Cardi B's, the Sexy Reds, the Ice Spice, all these women, especially in the mainstream, they have a lock. They have a hold on the genre. Some of the men are coming up, can't think of them right now because so many women, and that's what he talks about too. Like he was saying, he was like, they have to be sexualized. That's part of the game, man. They have to have that edge to them. They have to use their assets. The late great Hugh Hefner was questioned one time and says, "Why do you objectify women?" I'm paraphrasing, but he said essentially they're objects, aren't they? Like, hello. And that's the thing with the whole idea of what he stood for. He had Playboy bunnies, he had Playmates of the Year, and play all that Playboy mess. What do you think it amounted to? What do you think it came to? Came to the fact that women are objects. Men are objects too, but women have more assets, more capability. I look at it like chess. Men can go up, down, side to side. Women, the queen, that's what the king can do. The queen, she can go diagonal, horizontal, straight, forward, backward. She has a lot more assets to her physique than the male specimen. But I always say, and people think I'm kidding, I'm not. Women are powerful, but men are more important. That's a fact. That's just truth. That's just not even. I'm not even trying to be sexist or misogynist or anything like that You can call me, a homo or whatever you want to say. I'm just telling you like it is. It's the truth. It's a man's world. It'd be nothing. It would mean nothing whether a woman or a girl. So I'm not trying to denounce the woman. I'm just trying to give her her proper role within the relationship. The woman is supposed to worship the man. She's supposed to look up to him. He has to have a backbone and integrity and honesty about himself to be worthy of such worship. There's that. All right. So Xzibit has no clue what that means. He doesn't know. He doesn't know anything about what today's hip hop scene really is constructed to be. He doesn't get the fact that all you have to do is, spit a hot freestyle and you get a contract. Bam, out the jump. You set up, 5-6 mixtapes. You can get onto a label. Boom, you're gone. You get a $2 million deal, like Never Broke Again, Young Boy, off of Murder, Death, Kill. Like virtually all his raps, 99% of his raps are about murdering, death, and killing people. As has been for years. That's nothing new in hip hop, of course. Goes back to gangster rap. The first gangster rapper, Schoolie D, out of Philly. And then you go down the line, you have people like Beanie Siegel, you have people like Cassidy, you have people like even Lil Uzi Vert. They have their own styles, they have their own flows. And that's the best part about hip hop. It's that lineage. It's like Xzibit. Xzibit, I'm sure he opened doors for other artists to do what they do. He opened the door to be, on different TV shows. That wasn't expected at all the time. There was maybe Diddy with Making the Band, and I can't think about too many other rappers. I mean, there's a few maybe, here and there, but he carried the torch, and he continues to carry the torch as long as he's above ground, I guess. Like I said, he hasn't had a project out in over a decade, but that's about the longest the idealism that he wants to portray. He wants to portray himself as an OG, somebody that's in the game still after all these years, somebody that's still working on his posture in the rap field, but still doesn't know what to do with it. Still doesn't know where to take it. He gets in interviews, and that's the first thing that anybody asks, questions or brings up about. Oh, what was like your time like at Pimp My Ride? What was it? Nobody even cares about his music like that. Nobody's trying to listen to it. It's just facts. If you drop the album tomorrow, people like Exhibit. What exhibit? Exhibit A? I don't. That's the reality. That's the truth. There's going to be a reckoning of, excuse me, excuse me, a reckoning of different people who will be within his sphere. I think Dr. Dre may say something. I think Snoop may say something, and I'm like, come on, man, you can't be. These are kids. When Soldier Boy came in the game, what was he, 17? And you're knocking young kids, especially in depressed areas of the United States or even across the world. You're knocking that. You're saying that there's something wrong with that. You're saying they shouldn't be able to, have Wi-Fi and a laptop and a microphone and a beat machine and make something into a multi-platinum album or get 100 million streams or downloads or a billion views on YouTube. You tell me that? That's pure hate, my friend. That's pure hatred. That's nothing but hate. And he knows it. It's subjective hate. That's the difference. He's not hating to empower, to enlighten, to encourage. It's just reckless hatred. Reckless. And that's what's so damaging to this genre. And why he should stop with his whole rhetoric. Because it makes no sense. You sit back and you say, "Oh well, it's a mockery. Oh, I can't see anybody in this, genre." I'm not quoting, but I can't see anyone in this genre, making it because they're just using a laptop and Wi-Fi and they call themselves an artist. Like that's a paraphrasing, but he has no business hating on anyone else. None. No business. And while you have people like uh anyone like Tyler the Creator and Earl Sweatshirt and the OF Odd Future, you got the Griselda Collective, Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine, Griselda. West Side Gun. You have the Memphis Machine. You got what is it? Yo Gotti. You got oh, hold on. I don't want to mess it up. I don't mess it up. His name. Moneybag Yo. Even Glorilla. NLE Chopper. Black Youngster. Pooh Shiesty. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? Hip hop is a mockery of itself now. What? What? A mockery? People been putting the work in. Xzibit, you need to examine yourself. All right. You know what time it is. It's been like this all night. 0. I have 0 viewers. This is a bad time, apparently, for me to get on the mic and spit my ism. But I'm going to spit the ism no matter what. I'm going to rock it till the wheels fall off. It don't matter to me. I come up in here without, anything else to say. That's all right. I can just sit here and just sit back for a whole half an hour. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to promote my story. Ruler of the Kingdom of the Air. Read it right now on vocal.media. Go on there right now. Switch on a different tab or even get off of this tab and go and read that story. Read it right now. It will enrich your life. I don't have my normal day ones, Richard James. I don't have Chelsea. I don't have Bountiful. I don't remember her handle. But there's a young lady that has contributed to the machine. Marvelous. Not here. Greg has stepped in, stepped out. He had to like, or he didn't like it, then he liked it. I appreciate that no matter what. But this is the thing. Ruler of the Kingdom of the Air is coming down to 10 days until the judges stop their ruling, no pun intended, on the story. I care, man. I don't want to say, no, I don't care. I'm not too cool to say, man, it's all right. It's just a pleasure to be nominated, and just be in the running. No, I want to win. I do. I really want to win. I want the first place. I want to be able to say I had a gold award-winning story. I have 2 silvers and 1 bronze. But nobody cares about. Nelly said it best. 2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers. What does it take to be number 1? He knows what it's like to be number 1. He's been on the Billboard charts, number 1 albums, number 1 singles. He's been there. I want to get there in my lane. This is my lane, the writing lane, the internet, publishing field. Nobody talks about this. Nobody. Not on TV, not in YouTube, no one. No one was talking about getting paid for video into like almost 2 decades ago. 15, 16 years ago. 17 years ago. Rever.com. This site paid you for putting up content. They'll attach an advertisement to your video and you can get paid just like that. Bam. You get mad money. But it's a totally different era now. YouTube usurped that. They just took it over. Well, not by force, I should say. I'm saying in metaphorical sense. But YouTube took over the whole idea of making money off of videos, and what people are understanding. But Medium for publishing for writing. Oh yeah, we got writing for Medium. Oh yeah, we got writing for Substack. Oh yeah, we got writing for anything else but vocal. Vocal is too quiet. It's not. But I don't know if I want it. I don't know. I think I do want it to blow it up. I think I do want it to blow up. Because if it blows up, I think I get more money. I think I can get more reads. Based on the fact that it gets bigger and wider audience. And it finds more people. It has, I think, 1 million people. And like Medium has like 20 million, something like that. I'm not sure the exact figures. But they have a significant amount more than vocal.media. But I like the culture of vocal thinking behind it. Here, look, I got a viewer. Who are you? If you're in the live chat, say something. Type something right now. If it's Greg S, welcome back. Okay, now you go away. Okay, great. It's gonna be like that all night. This is not a good time. I already know. This is not a good time. Not to be making money. Hey, I'm gonna still ride and get my thoughts out, my ideas. And I have the rebroadcast. So I'm not hating, I'm not mad. I'm just grooving. I'm feeling good. Had a great meal today, had a great day. And I'm just looking around, I'm at church and I'm just looking around at all these people that, claim to be believers. I'm thinking like, what are they doing right now after church and during the week? And they're not. They're doing anything but praising the Lord. They're doing anything but. So, but I get sidetracked. I go off into a tangent. Ruler of the kingdom of the air. Greatest story on vocal. Hands down. Gotta be the best. Gotta be. Gotta be. It's no question. I wrote it. It's not great because I wrote it. I wrote it because I knew it was going to be great. I knew it was going to strike a nerve somewhere, somehow. Someone would, be in a position to say something different than they would have in another circumstance. They would be able to say something that is goes against who they are, what they represent. That's what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for this whole idea to be brought about in a way that is powerful and has meaning and has some kind of substance to it. And I'm not hating on the young writers, 'cause that's the thing too. Look at that. You got a laptop or a MacBook, you can just type out a story and get paid thousands of dollars. Probably somebody's somewhere making millions of dollars. I don't know. I don't know a lot of things. There's a lot of things that I just wonder about. One of the things I wonder about is somewhere in Thailand or in Russia or in Nigeria, if my stories are being taken by anyone and used for profit. I'll never know. And vocalists said that too. We don't know. I read their guidelines. They said we don't know if anybody is taking your stuff. We just make sure that you don't take anybody else's stuff. That's what they're concerned with. That's what they're worried about. So, ruler of the kingdom of the air is, the culmination of multiple strands of ideas and thoughts that I've had for over 20 years, probably 25 years. I'm 35. Only 35. I'm old. I'm ancient. I'm 35 years old. And I feel like I am totally, in opposition to any ideas that are going against reality. I love thought. I love thinking. I love life. I love reason. These are values that I hold. And it's become something that is very, prescient in my life. Very important in how I deal with things. I agree with, the critics that, have praised my work. I have 4 likes and 2 comments. That means that somebody took the time. I don't know how many people read it. They don't give you that kind of information on Vocal. I don't know how much money I've made from it already. But I will know come September 27th that, in fact, I will have lost or won. Because even if I come in second or third place, I will still say I lost. And that's a Seinfeld sketch, whatever, his routine. He said, you come in gold, yeah, you got the gold. You were first place. It's wonderful. Then you have, the bronze. Oh, well, at least you got something. That's nice. But silver? You came in second. You're the first loser. Like, I mean, he just jokes like that. Even though second place, depending on what you get, what it's worth. I mean, I get more money, and the best part is I made over $2,100 on vocal. Haven't paid 1 cent in taxes. None. Zero. Zip. Nada. Not anything in taxes. I haven't paid anything on YouTube or uh, the internet with taxes. None. Nothing. It's beautiful. I don't pay taxes anyway because I get government disability money, Social Security money, get these cash apps, and I'm getting money from my vocal reads. So it's a beautiful system I have set up. And it's all selfish. Nobody held my hand. Nobody said, look, you got to do this, you got to do that. I take that back. Mr. Troy Star Terrain gave me the impetus to start this YouTube journey. I will give him that credit. He didn't hold my hand. He's not, trying to be trying to be a savior or anything like that. But I credit him with giving me the idea to do my own show, and it's exploded many times over, tenfold. I had 2,000 views plus in April 14th. From April 15th up to now, I have 20,000 views. 10 times as much in just 5 months. So this is a metaphor. This is a clarion call for all the people that have a dream, have an idea that wants to not be just a dream. They want to crystallize it, make it complete and whole and new and true, and not just a dream but a reality. This is an example of what I'm doing right now. I see at the count right now. I have 1 like and 0 viewers. Right now. If you're watching this, I want you to know I thank you for motivating me to not ever do a show on a Sunday evening like this. It's not going to happen. Or maybe to not do a show on Xzibit. Maybe nobody even cares about Xzibit. I just thought it was, out of pocket for me. For him to say something like that, to denounce hip hop. Like Wyclef said, you can't blame it on hip hop. But ruler of the kingdom of the air. Gotta always come back to the base. It is a story that will take you all over the place and then bring you back to an understanding. It has a cliffhanger. It has plot twists. It has turns, and it's over 3,000 words, and you'll get through it because I try to make it like that. I try to make it as readable and as shareable, hint, hint, as possible. That's what I tried to do. That's what I'm continuing to do. I'm going to make sure that I have this whole identity / self-discovery / understanding of my own child theme throughout, whatever happens after September 27th. Whatever occurs, I'm going to be ready. So I got, ideas in my mind that I'm working on. I got a whole list of stories to share that I can't wait to unload after this particular challenge ends. I enjoy it. It brings me joy. It brings me complete fulfillment and happiness. Dale Carnegie said, and I want to make sure I say this right, Hold on. Make sure I get it right. Happiness doesn't depend on any external condition. It's governed by our mental attitude. That's not the quote I wanted. Still looking for it. Still can't find it. That's fine. But he was saying how, oh, here it is. Success is getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you get. That's facts. It's wanting what you actually get. That's the happiness in it. And nobody can give it to you. And nobody should be able to take it away. It is your own. It is part of who you are and what you represent. It takes you to the point of understanding what you are as a human being and what you can do. Everybody is not inclined for something. Everybody likes to say that. Everybody can do something, maybe something, but not everything or anything. Like everybody can probably sweep the streets. I've done it. Everybody can probably collect trash. I've done it. Everybody can clean, can transfer dirty mops. We call them dirty moppos, and put them on a truck, or put them in transit. I've done it. Those are just the stepping stones. Those are just the different ways that we have to get to the point where we want to be. I think I'm close to that point. I'm not at that point yet. And depending on what it is that happens post September 27th, 2023, I'll be happy. I don't care. I'm happy right now with what I do because it's a challenge. I'm writing a screenplay right now. Screenplay right now. I like it. I like how it's going. I like where it's going. I'm enjoying that. Something that I, can look at as something that is important to me. That creates in my mind, something that is a companion piece to Ruler of the Kingdom of the Air. Go read it on vocal.media. Can't say it enough. I'll even put it back in the chat. That's what I'm talking about. To just get over adversity. Just like the newly separated couple, Jeezy and Jeannie Mai, Jenkins and Jeannie Mai. He's got the book called Adversity for Sale. You gotta believe. Well, I'm not going to dip back into old stories, but I'll just say, for what it's worth, what he had in his book, he has all the different struggles that he had. And that's the thing. I'll never forget. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere on the internet. Somebody please help me. Let me know. Send me a link. I'll give you my address is skyrlersaunders@gmail.com. Send me this meme. I meant to save it. I can't believe I didn't save it. It was so great. I just got almost teary-eyed. I was so astonished by it. It shows a person walking by themselves, all by themselves on a plane, a level plane on the ground. And then they have under it, it says the struggle. I think that's what it said, or something like that along that. And then when it has the same person walking in the same way, and then it has a whole group of people behind them, and it says the achievement underneath. Where were the people during the struggle? Why did they come in only during the achievement? Why is that? People don't ever come in towards when you're on the lowest levels, your lowest rungs. And the same thing happens when after the success. Say you have a downfall. Say you don't do so well in the stores and in the streams and the views. Then that achievement, people dwindle away, and you're back on the struggle again. So it's weird. It's funny. It's human nature. It's just human nature. That's what it is. So, as I talk to my rebroadcast audience, not my live chatters, they're not flowing like it was. Sometimes I get 8, 9, 10. One time I had 230 when Paul Rubens died. Go figure. Had 230 people up in here. It went down considerably. But the fact that you have to just do something. I didn't expect the silver and bronze. I knew I was worthy of it, but it's up to them. It's an objective thing. You have to say that it's someone else's to say it. I know mine is great, but I can't say that for someone else. That's the reality. That's the truth. So when I have to have somebody come to me and ask me, well, what is vocal? What is this? What is that? I just say, look, go on, read my stuff, share it, let other people know. I go on all the social media, all the different social networks, and I put in what it really means to be an author. And especially now when I'm in the struggle field, phase. James Patterson didn't sell one book until he wrote the words himself. Now he's worth over $500 million or close to $1 billion because he's a commercial writer. And every time I go in a store, there has to be at least 2 or 3 books that he has at the same time with different writers, sometimes different authors, and he just exemplifies, success. Same thing with Stephen King and Balducci and John Grisham and so many more. And the person, of course, that I owe most of all of this to is Ayn Rand. With Ayn Rand, I see her struggle, how she had to come up, how she had to learn English to the best of her ability, and she mastered the language completely. That's almost an understatement, how she mastered the language. Wrote complete novels and a novelette or a novella. I don't know the difference. There's always a difference. It's like different pages and different page counts. But she completely revolutionized what it meant to be a writer, not just a female writer, not just a woman writer, but American writer. And people, are snarky and condescending and sarcastic when it comes to her work. Oh well, and then they point out, insignificant scenes or people that don't understand scenes. Like I'll give you a scene from Fountainhead that's been widely disputed, and I'll just say this: she wasn't asking for it; she was demanding it. That's all I'm gonna say. So, Ayn Rand is, the bedrock for my ideas and thoughts now, because it would have been a totally different situation if I never encountered Ayn Rand. It would have been completely different. With the way she uses mythology, even in the name of her book, Atlas Shrugged, the giants that hold up the heavens, or the entirety of existence. And her metaphor for that, for being the executives and the real men of the mind, and the working and productive poor and people like that. That's who she represented. The producer, the mind, the person behind the products. We always get it in our faces every day. Consumers say, well, we have Consumer Reports, and the consumer completely all about focus on consumption. But there would be no consumption by the consumers if they weren't first producers. How many producers advocates are there? How many producers say, well, I'm a person that creates, builds, and makes, and then I have to go and buy things and purchase things. But at first, at root, I'm a producer. I think we get away from that. I think we get away from the idea of that. And that's what ruler of the kingdom of the air purports and what it shows to be a producer. The main character right now is Green Stockwell. He is a senior vice president at Della credit card company. And this is in the 80s. This is the late 80s, way before credit card companies were prominent in Delaware. And it took about a decade or more for that to be resurrected and channeled and changed. So he takes it upon himself to use his resources to go on a quest for truth and knowledge and wisdom. That's what he wants. That's what he has for himself. So by expounding on that, by explaining that further, that's what the story is all about. That's what it entails. That's what it really shows. It has its own idealism to it. And it's all about challenging yourself. It's all about knowing yourself. It's all about creating something that wasn't there. Rule of the Kingdom of the Air wasn't there, and nobody said, you know what, you should write this story. And sometimes that is beneficial, but you still have to write the story. Somebody, look, I just got one viewer at the 58-minute mark. One viewer, whoever you are, show yourself. Show yourself in the live chat. Leave it a like. Hit that like button. You came to the party tardy. But I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much. So I was just talking to my rebroadcast audience. I can get a good 15 to 20 views out of them. But when it's Tuesday night, it's on and popping. Tuesday nights are serious because that's when I put out my story to be on the community section of Choice Star Terrain's page. Okay, I see you're either writing something really long or you're not paying attention or something else. You're not touching the keys. Okay, it's Greg S. It's out the fist kick. I needed that laugh. Thank you, Greg S. So it was that one person. So do what you want to do, Greg S. If you want to keep the like, I would imagine you're not telling anyone else about the show. I already said tell 3 people and leave the 4th one wondering what is going on. With this goofball in his black shirt and white tie or silver tie. I don't know. It's silver or gray. I like this tie though. It's cool. 100% silk. Don't get it twisted. Hold on. It's made in hand tailored. I got this from a site that messed up my order, and they wanted to give me something. They wanted to give me something in exchange. So they gave me credits, and I had enough credits to go online. And there was a tie that was worth like $55. And I said, shoot, I'm gonna get that one. And they gave me credits enough, to take it down to like $2.50. So it was good. So I like this tie. I like the shirt now. Using the gray hat again. But thank you, Greg S, for rolling with me and bouncing with me. I didn't get any money live chat wise. I think everybody's getting ready for school week and work week. Don't knock you for that. Get your sleep, get your rest. But I would have to pick a different time, obviously, to get my words off for the live people. But for the rebroadcast, hey, thank you for staying on with me. Appreciate it. And I will see you. Oh, he's earning for you. Okay. You take that up with him. I'm not going to get in between me, y'all's little struggle beef. But I thank you for rolling with me, Greg S. and others. And I appreciate it. So thank you very much and take care.